as I was doing my hair, this thought came to me about a quick little training and some tips that I want to give you, because I feel like, well, this keeps coming up for me inside client calls. And this seems to be one of the things that I work with most with my clients, because I feel like until you can get a handle on your time management skills, it can be extremely challenging to fit everything into life that you really need to. And it's actually something that we really dug into in Hobby to Business. We created personalized, customized Power Hour checklists where everybody knew what they were doing on Monday when they went into their business, like full planning mode. And it is something that I do inside my programs too. But I have a very quick tip for you that is all about multitasking and single tasking, because I feel like we are all very inclined to multitask, right? We're like, you know what? I can get more things done in the day if I do two things at one time. So raise your hand and tell me if this is you. This has always been me. I kind of have the inability to do one thing at one time. I get a little bit antsy if I am. But I have learned how to be more strategic with this multitasking versus single tasking. What I've really learned is that sometimes there's a very strong value in single tasking, and that oftentimes certain projects are just going to take you a certain amount of time. Whether you do two at one time or one at one time, they're likely to take the same amount of time. So if they take 20 minutes individually, regardless of what you do, doing them two at one time, sometimes it doesn't just take 40 minutes, it now takes 50 minutes to 60 minutes because you're pulling your attention away. And it really depends on what you're doing to how focused you need to be. So here is my tip in terms of multitasking. Be smart and strategic about the tasks that you are combining together. Meaning, do not do two highly brain-intensive activities together at one time. And it's interesting because people will be like, yeah, like I totally missed that part of your training, or the part of that workshop, or I missed this or that. And it's probably because your attention was somewhere else. But when you want, the best time to multitask is to do one brain-intensive activity with something that is like mindless. For instance, I can easily listen to a training while I'm putting away laundry. Easy, right? Because laundry doesn't take any of my brain power. I can be fully focused on the training that I'm listening to. Now, if it was in training that I wanted to engage in, like talk back in, like a Zoom or something like that, obviously that is a single tasking job. And when you make a big investment in yourself and your business to do a training, and you know it's a training that's calling your name, I would recommend single tasking that. But listening to a podcast that you know that you get value out of for your business and for your life, do that while you do the laundry. Do that while you cook dinner. Do not place orders while you're trying to have dinner with your family. These are two activities that you want to be fully present in. I have talked to a lot of clients lately that are like, oh, I just feel like I can't fill it in. I'm making mistakes all over the place. But honestly, that's because we're pulling our attention in 1,000,006 different directions. Do not drop every single thing that you do that you're doing when you get an order. Make a list, send yourself an email, and place all of those orders at one time. First thing in the morning when your brain is fresh. That's what works for me anyways. Like, you take the orders from your customers, you get the details, but you don't need to drop everything and run to your computer, because likely you were doing something that you wanted to be present for as well. So know the difference about good morning. Know the difference on when you should be single tasking and when you should be multitasking in order to be the most efficient with your time and to get the most value. Listen to a podcast, listen to a training while you're going for your walk, while you're driving to a location rather than listening to the radio. That is an amazing use of your time. But don't try to run an online party unless it's pre-scheduled on Facebook while you're putting your kids to bed, because you will end up feeling like you were crappy at both of them. You'll get that mom guilt. You'll feel like you missed things in the online party. So be smart with the way that you use your time and what you multitask and what you single task. I know that this is literally probably I know this feels really simple, but I think that if we can get a handle on our time, then there's no stopping what we can build and what we can do. but time is a really incredible and important factor in figuring out like how to manage a side hustle alongside of a really busy life. I want you to have the life first, the business second, but the business gets to be anything you want it to be if you're smart about it. And hopefully that this was a message that was meant to hit some certain ears. It came to me while I was doing my hair, and I was like, you know what? Typically when they cut, like when those messages are sent to me, I'm like, someone needs to hear this, so I'm just gonna say it out loud. And then this is your very last call for the shift. Now I am battling the idea, battling is not the right word. I'm like throwing around the idea of in my brain about actually turning these workshops into courses that you can purchase on my website so that they have longevity, because I think there's so much value inside of them, and that sometimes the timing just isn't right for you to hop into one. But I can tell you that the energy inside of a live workshop is far more powerful than going through it on your own. So this is the very last call for the shift. The doors open to the Facebook group today. The pre-content, so day one content, which is going to be like the deep dive into your life and your brain. It's going to be the powerful work. The transformative work is going to drop tomorrow so that everybody has tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday to work through it at their own pace. The first live training is happening on Tuesday. On Tuesday, it's called Rising from Our Ashes. I have a little bit of a bonus training coming on Wednesday, but don't tell anybody that's in it. And I am doing a live training on Thursday called Stepping Into Her. And so the shift is all about the mindset shifts, and not only the shift, but like just raising our vibration, raising our energy, not getting past our fears, but almost being empowered by our fears, right? Like looking at our fears, asking ourselves, rather than like, okay, just ignore that and move past that. Like, how could that fear serve me? How could that fear get me further in life? And like, I even said to a client today, I said, what if you started looking at fear as excitement? It's something that's in Marie Forleo's book, Everything is Figure Outable, which was a great book. It wasn't like, I wasn't what I needed in that time, but like, it was a really good book. It's got a ton of good messages in it, but that was one of the notions that really stuck with me. I was like, yes, what if you just renamed fear with excitement? They're very similar feelings, right? And all of a sudden, what you think you're afraid of, you're running towards and you're excited about. And so we're also going to talk about the gifts that we have to give the world. I want to raise the collective vibration. I want to raise people's confidence, their clarity, their everything, so that we can truly step into our power, so that we can be who we're meant to be, and we can share the gifts that we're meant to bring into the world. The truth is, we all have 1,000 gifts, and we will likely only tap into a very small percentage of them and bring them into the world. But like, why wait? Why not do that now? So anyways, this is your last call for the live workshop inside the shift. I may, and let me know what you guys think, put them onto my website to purchase later. Especially thinking the Facebook bootcamp will be useful, which is coming up in March. But you guys have a fantastic day. Enjoy the sunshine. I know it's still chilly in so many different places, but at least the sun is shining, and that makes good morning. That makes everything better in my opinion. All right, have a happy day. I will see you soon. And those of you that are already registered for the shift, I am going to start accepting you into the group in probably the next hour or two in waves, because there's a lot of you. So can't wait to see you guys on the inside. If you're interested in getting signed up, you can find the information in the unit section inside this group, or you can send me a message. Mwah! Love you guys. Talk to you soon.